The final offshore leg of the Korea Cup International Regatta was the longest and most exciting one. The 25-boat fleet would race the return leg from the Dokdo Islands off the eastern coast of Korea back to the mainland and the city of Uljin, which they had left on the 18th of May. This final offshore leg would determine the overall winners of the 2013 series. Holding special status as a nature reserve, the stunning Dokdo Islands are beautiful volcanic islands with a warm and humid climate and host to numerous bird species, insects and plants. To get to the Dokdo Islands, the fleet took a long overnight trip from Uljin Island, the destination for the first offshore leg, to arrive at the Dokdo Islands ready for an 1100 start for the return leg to the city of Uljin. The race started in light winds under the watchful eyes of the race committee on the schooner Koreana. The two classes, ORC and Open, started together, with the racetrack taking them around the islands and then back to Uljin. Off the line first were Korea and Linda Vista, with Korea keeping to windward and taking a course closer to the islands, while Linda Vista decided to follow a wider route and avoid the potential lack of wind under the islands. The rest of the fleet followed closely, with Korea's tactics seeming to find favour with many of the teams who were in pursuit. Team Bare Essentials was desperately trying to catch up and claw back some of the distance lost at the start, and particularly to their closest rivals on Linda Vista. The crew of Korea had made a smart strategic move, and with less distance sailed, were the first to round the island, followed by Linda Vista in second and Team Bare Essentials in third. The rest of the fleet were chasing Linda Vista as they headed upwind to mainland Korea, but with the prospect of a 134 nautical mile ahead of them, crews would need to conserve themselves for the long return leg and make sure they could respond to the varied conditions. Just before sunset, the wind picked up and the boat speeds increased. The fleet were now on a close reach to Uljin and eating away at the race course. The all-Korean crew on the Open 60, Linda Vista, who claimed honours in the first offshore race, were now safely in the lead, with the rest of the fleet trailing, and clearly set to give another demonstration of their impressive teamwork. But there was still a long way to go to the finish. After a long and tiring night, with winds averaging 20 knots, the breeze had dropped by the time Linda Vista crossed the finish line to take line honours just after sunrise. Team Bare Essentials had caught up in the light wind and finished less than 10 minutes behind. In the open class, line honours went to Diva, whose crew celebrated their victory with champagne. By the afternoon, most of the fleet had crossed the finish line of Uljin, and it was time for some rest after their week-long odyssey of offshore and inshore racing in some of the most beautiful and wild places South Korea has to offer.
It's been great. I mean, just the fact that it kind of reminds me of sailing back home. These conditions right now, light and shifty, but all in all, it was a great experience, great place to be. Probably have to come back do some more sailing sometime.
The overall winner from the two offshore legs was Russia's Korea. In second place was Akanito, racing with a French and Korean crew, and the Korean, Australian, British, Japanese and Kiwi crew on Team Bare Essentials were third. The hosts and organisers welcomed the teams back to Uljin, and a memorable closing and award ceremony paid tribute to the winning teams with the presentation of trophies and prize money. As part of the celebration of the unique camaraderie that prevails here, all competitors signed the traditional Korean kite, which had been flying at Dokdo Island. The 2013 Korea Cup International Yacht Race had it all. Thrilling conditions over a week's competitive racing, which justly reflects its position as the largest and most respected yachting event in Korea. The racing threw everything at the teams, light winds to strong, unique island breezes and a mix of inshore and offshore racing, along with the unique challenges of night racing. Another successful year for the Korea Cup International Yacht Race. See you in 2014, and thanks for watching.